Go on the cars, go. Go on the cars.
Kuno fam, what's good? We're back. Match day review. I got Sandile here. It's a bit late, yeah, but we said we gotta do it, man. 2-1
Get
lost.
the emotions up, man.
Yeah,
Gotta get those emotions out. I can't sleep when I'm so gassed.
yeah, man. I was even like trying to calm down, watching all the videos. I looked at Arteta's press conference and yeah, but anyway, 2-1 lost to Wolves. Bro, what a game, man. Tail of like a game that ended in like 5 minutes, but we worked so hard for the
Yeah.
first 55. But yeah, let's go into like good starting lineup. Talk us through your reaction to the first half, building into second half.
Yeah, look, I thought we played okay, man. Disclaimer, I didn't watch the entire first half. I was on and off a bit. But the parts that I did catch, we didn't do too badly. I mean, Saka scored a goal. Unfortunately, Lacazette was just offside.
Mm.
Like his big toe was offside. If only had like if he had a size 6 foot or something, that was onside and he scored a goal. Nice and early, to settle the nerves. But yeah, look, we had a couple of chances, and yeah, we didn't deserve to lose that game. I think we deserved to go in at halftime, probably at least 2-0 up. And yeah, it just wasn't quite to be. And then, the penalty, David Luiz put him on the clown mask. But in his defense, not for the penalty. I still think that decision for the penalty was questionable. The decisions made higher up the field. I think he got sucked into the
Yeah.
play, and he's not the quickest guy in the world. So the recovery run was always going to be difficult. And I could just see that goal coming that gap just opened up, and I was like, oh shit, something's about to go down. Luis, like the touch was just so faint. I'm not against the fact that it was a penalty because that there was like the slightest contact.
And
But
the
that
guy
red,
went down, hard as well.
yeah, look, that's the day and age. That's the game these days. That's just how it goes. But yeah, the red card I think was a bit harsh, man. I think it was really, really harsh. Had it been a case of a one-on-one with Leno, and yes, it was a clear goal-scoring chance, but man,
But
it
my
was
thing is
just
like, if he's getting a red, why not just take the guy out, man? Break some legs and stuff. You get him the red anyway. So
yeah, yeah. Yeah, man, it was unfortunate, and I saw a lot of people online saying, "Yeah, David Luiz is terrible. He needs to go." And fair enough, he does, but he's been in good form. He's been playing well. We've kept a couple of clean sheets with him on the field, so it's not as if he's just been continuously playing bad. An unfortunate mistake, maybe a lapse in concentration, not going back for, and then eventually causing that penalty. And for me, even that Leno penalty, that Leno red card, I feel like the Arsenal players just did not give the officials, including VAR, like a decision to make. Leno was off like immediately. Yes, fine, you touch it with your hand. At least try and bargain for a yellow card. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Just for make VAR make the decision. By the time VAR had reviewed, he was already in the showers. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
Maybe let's talk a bit about that point there. So, what did you make of what he did, first of all? And in like his defense, because I know you like to break it down in both sides, what do you think he was like thinking? He maybe got caught a bit off guard. Is it his natural goalkeeper reflex to, try hit the ball?
yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think the ball just bounced awkwardly. I don't think he expected the ball to bounce the way that it did. And maybe he got to it too quickly and he overran it and it was suddenly behind him and he decided to, just quickly knock it with his hand. I think that's all it came down to really. But again, red card I think was a bit harsh. Yes, it wasn't really a one-on-one opportunity. He wasn't going straight at goal. There was a couple of factors, man, and I feel a yellow card would have done
And
justice.
and, and most handballs have been yellow cards, you know what I mean? Okay, I suppose his was quite deliberate, but there have been ones that, I haven't seen. I was also thinking maybe that long range screamer, man, that Tino scored was kind of shook Leno, but maybe it got his mind. The ball did skid, it was rainy. It's just that just trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, to be fair, because I also didn't like the fact he just walked off like I'm fine with it. I suppose he knew what he did, but just fight, have some like cheek, have some like kind of, as you said, bargain with the ref kind of deal, man. Like, you know what I mean? Be like, look, my first offense, I'm outside the box here. He wasn't even close. I think also you could also blame maybe a bit of communication. Maybe our defenders like, you got time, you got time. You know what I mean? Take a step into the box, you can actually catch the ball. But to be fair, I think Traore was just wreaking havoc as well at that stage. He's like on the left there was just, this guy is just, I think like his best game in like he hasn't scored in like the whole season, and like he almost had like 2 assists.
Yeah, yeah, and look, for me, like marking Traore is he's strong, he's quick, he's got some skill on him, and he can cross the ball. But it's always on the right foot. He's never gonna cut side because he plays on the right. And there was this one game where Niles was actually playing at left back. He showed him inside the whole time. He was literally like standing adjacent to him and just not allowing him to go down the wing. That's all you have to do. If he cuts inside, he's never going to use his left foot. It's not efficient enough. So I did feel that sometimes Cedric did make it a little bit easy for him. I think Pepe had a decent game. He was tracking back and he did all right. And yeah, look, we did make it a little bit easier for Traore, but we didn't deserve to lose that game.
Yeah.
It was we beat ourselves in a way, and the referee obviously had big decisions to make, and they just didn't go Arsenal's way.
Yeah, I suppose there's not even much to talk about in the second half because we were just on the back foot from the get-go, and then 9 men still more on the back foot. We had like one chance towards the end, but do you think that looking at it, like maybe after some time, do you think he was just too quick to pull the red cards out? Like it wasn't, it's just like, he just pulled it out straight away. He didn't even think or anything like that. And you think like these kind of like, with everybody raging and everybody having these emotions and reactions that like how the guy felt, for example, maybe he saw it as, oh, this guy definitely, because it's like when you cross a player, it's like an assumption you're going to clip him. Especially your defending box. My question is like, what is Luis supposed to? He can't back off. He needs to get. But what if this guy tries to like cut back and Luis is there? So as a defender, you want to try to get around him. So like, like was he just too quick? Like not even to call VAR. I felt that we have all of these levels of looking at certain situations. And what did you make of it? Like just in that sense.
Yeah, he was very quick to pull out the red cards. I don't think he gave himself enough time to think, let alone VAR. But just be in the moment, read the situation for what it is, and had he given Luis a yellow card for that incident, I don't think VAR would have overturned it and said no, that's a red card. They would have stuck with the referee's decision or maybe asked him to go and check it out on the screen because the contact was so minimal, and the guy just made the most of it. And for if that is a red card also, then Bruno Fernandes should have gotten a red card in the Arsenal game that we had against them for stamping. I think it was on Xhaka's Achilles. That been reviewed, and that should have been a red card. If the Luis one is a red card as well. But yeah, the ref didn't have a great game. It just felt like every time Arsenal made a foul, he was very quick to pull out a card. But not the other way around. He was very hasty with the red cards for both incidents for me.
Yeah, it is a bit disappointing because we had quite a decent half. I think the first half, and we looked a lot better, a lot more fluid. I suppose it goes down that way. And like the next, but how does this affect us going forward? And the other thing is, I don't know, like, haven't we been going through this? Shouldn't we just deal with it like ref decisions? Like, do you think now it's highlighted more because of VAR? Because like, think about it, we're like, as if you're an Arsenal fan, this is not the first time you have complained about a ref, you know? Like let's not even
Yeah.
go to number 50 there, undefeated. We won't even go, you know, to
Yeah.
that game. But in certain other games, you know, always quick, like certain decisions are much more hastier to us against us. So why is it today that it seems to be highlighted more? Well, obviously we experience it a lot harder, but do you think it's more dispersed across the league, or yeah, what's your take on it?
Look, I think you're right. I mean, Arsenal just referees just do not seem to like Arsenal for whatever reason, you know. And then you have Man United who are the favorite child, and Arsenal is just you know, the ugly duckling, or
Mm.
you know, the black sheep of the Premier League that the referees just don't like. And I don't know why that is. Maybe there's some history there. I honestly cannot tell you why that's the case. But yeah, there is like an agenda against Arsenal, I feel, from the referees. And I think today it was highlighted because we were in a good run, you know. Obviously, beforehand, before the Chelsea game when we won, like halfway through December, we were making mistakes, and they were genuine. Most of them were genuine mistakes, and they were valid red cards or own goals or whatever the case might have been. And now we've just been so solid defensively, hardly putting a foot wrong. And then suddenly, the one time that something sort of, you know, is might lean towards a red card or in that gray area, the referee very quickly pulls out a red card, you know. So that was, I think that's what just made it, highlighted it even more. We're playing very, very well, very, very solid defensively. How many clean sheets have we kept in a row? You know, and then boom, you know, just one mistake, and it cost us the game, really.
Yeah, definitely. I like that you said that. It's been a while since I've heard that from you. Solid defense, you know, we've been playing very well. So it's refreshing, you know, after the December we've had. So yeah, man,
Yeah.
on to Villa, I suppose, this weekend. You know, it's a bit disappointing, no Leno, maybe no Luis. But look, there was a bit of fight towards the end from the guys, which was
Yeah.
nice. You know, but you're never going anywhere with 10 or 9 men, let alone 10
Yeah.
men. So,
Yeah.
just the last few questions before we go. What do you think we need to beat Villa? You know, they coming out strong. Martinez, Grealish, you know, all of those guys are there. And then also, what did you make of our transfer window? It's ended last night. So yeah, maybe you can talk about that.
Yeah. So I'll start with this game, right? Before moving on to the Villa game. Maybe just a couple of performances I would like to highlight. I think Pepe is finding some form finally. I think he's had a run of a couple of games now where he's looked good. He's scoring goals. I don't think that his interplay is up there just yet. I think he still likes to dribble a lot. Whereas, you know, if you look at the
Those
combination,
two shibobos, man, in the box there. God, like,
yeah, yeah, silky man, silky. But yeah, if you look at how Smith Rowe, Saka, and Lacazette play, it's a lot of combination play, you know. And with Pepe, he likes to take players on, get in the box, and he does tend to perhaps overdo it at stages. But it's building his confidence. He's getting in the right areas. He's scoring the goals, and he's generally playing very well. Today, I think he might have, from what I'd seen, he was the best player for Arsenal. You know, besides the fact that he did score an awesome goal, and he looks a lot better when he's coming in from the left there. So yeah, that's one. Partey did not have the greatest game. I think he was just a bit off the pace. His passing wasn't as crisp as I would have expected it to be. I'm not sure if he's just not 100% fit yet, and we are just, you know, relying on him a lot and playing him. Yeah, so those are, I think, are the two guys that I just wanted to kind of highlight a bit for me. In terms of the Villa game going forward, honestly, we just need to bring the same energy that we've had since, you know, the Chelsea game. I think the confidence is there now in the team, and the guys know that they can go out there and really play against anybody and get a result, you know. And if we just keep that same energy, keep that same focus, and the nice thing, we have a red card. David Lewis is out, but we've got Gabriel coming in. You know, very solid. He's proven to be very solid before. So there really shouldn't be any too many issues defensively there with him coming in. And it really just makes our defense look so much stronger. The fact that we can play with somebody like Luis, and still keep a couple of clean sheets. Yes, today was an anomaly, a couple of mistakes, but you've got somebody like Gabriel on the bench. You've got Murray who's out injured, who's been absolutely solid as well. Um, so yeah, going forward, it looks very very promising for Arsenal defensively, and Arteta's done an awesome job in just making sure that in our defense, that's how you're gonna start moving up the table. You've got some deadly strikers who can find the back of the net. Make sure that that foundation of the defense is solid, and he's done absolutely well there. So Villa game, just bring your A game. Saka needs to bring his A game. It was good to see Aubameyang back. Hope his mother is recovering well. Um, and obviously Lacazette, he's been in good form as well. So we just need to bring our A game, and I think we can actually go there and actually get a result, and we can get 3 points from that game. And in terms of the transfer window, I am like super super stoked with that window. If you remember in one of the transfer videos that we're doing during the off season, I mentioned that it was going to be difficult for Arsenal get rid of the likes of Kolasinac and Socrates, especially because they are very good friends with Özil. Once Özil will agree to cut his contract short, the others, it was just a little bit easier. It felt like it was easier to get them to move on, to move along as well. Özil was the key to really, really just getting the deadwood out. And now it's happened. I wish, obviously, I love Özil as a player and as a human, and I really wish him the best for it in the rest of his career, wherever he decides to go, even after Fenerbahce. But yeah, we had a very, very good window. A lot of the deadwood players and a lot of the players that were probably not getting the game time that they want and maybe having negative influence in the dressing room and in the training pitch, those guys have left. Willock going out on loan. I know a lot of people do not like Willock. They do not like him playing a lot, but I think I think he might be just a late bloomer. I think and hopefully he gets a chance to prove himself. Maitland-Niles as well going out, and he wants to play in midfield. I think one of the reasons they agreed the West Brom deal was because West Brom said they were going to play him in midfield. So he's going to be playing in his preferred position and probably getting a whole lot of minutes. It's a chance to prove himself, comes the summer, perhaps we still have some players that I would like to see leave Arsenal. Ceballos obviously will go back to Real Madrid. I'd like to see El Neni leave as well. I don't think El Neni is good enough for Arsenal. He's a great guy, but he's not good enough for Arsenal. And this is a chance for Maitland-Niles to actually go out there and put his hand up and say, look, I can partner Partey in the midfield, or I can partner Xhaka. I can be that guy that you can rely on a regular basis in midfield, So yeah, I think it was a really, really good window. We did more than I expected. And yeah, I'm glad for Maitland-Niles that he did get his loan move, but I also just felt that he shouldn't have left. He's such a good utility player to have, but I also understand the reasons behind letting him go. So generally, a very, very good window. And yeah, it bodes well for the summer. I think getting Odegaard in as well. Sorry, not to forget him. Quality player. Let's see how he settles in. Hopefully, he settles in very quickly, gets to understand his teammates and how Arsenal want to play. And we see quite a bit of him as well. I think there might be decisions made in the summer as well with him if he has a good loan spell. I think we might just try and get him in on a permanent basis. So even though we do not have the option in the loan agreement, but I think it might be something that interests Arsenal. So yeah, it was a very good summer, winter window, and yeah, let's see how we go into the summer and the plans we have for that.
Yeah, no, it has been. I think both windows were good. I think we did some good business, and as I think we all have been calling for these guys to leave, so to finally see it happen is a bit like, I think the last nail in that coffin was like Mustafi. I think as soon as he's gone up, those like finally, like all of them, like So
Yeah.
I think Niles one, I'm also feel the same about that because the versatility he brings is just, especially now you need a squad during this like
Yeah.
red own kind of period. So, but I think he wants to play for the Euros. I think he just wants regular game time, and I don't think Arteta can promise him that. So, it's a bit sad. But I think you must one like Matt Ryan, and he's
Yes.
coming as a keeper. But yeah, maybe you can touch on that. And now he might just be called up to play the next 3 games. It was a straight
He-
red. So I think it's 3 games. Renarson
Yeah.
showed like he's not as bad as the City one. He made a few good saves, few good clearances, but it's between him and Matt Ryan now to step up. And how confident do you feel in this guy stepping up and taking
Um,
reins from Leno?
I am not confident in Runnison at all. I think, yeah, he's not the guy. So I'm very happy that we were able to get Matt Ryan in. And I think he's been injured as well, if I'm not mistaken. So hopefully he's fit for the weekend, because with Runnison in there, Grealish testing him, Ollie Watkins, is it Ollie Watkins? I'm forgetting the striker. Yeah, him testing. They've got guys who can take shots, and they are good finishers. So I'm not gonna, if we're going in with Runnison, then we'll definitely lose that game. I can tell you now. I'm happy with his signing. I think he's a Premier League proven goalkeeper. So yeah, let's see what he can bring to Arsenal, man. And I hope he is fit enough to play for over the weekend. And one thing I know, while we're just touching on the transfers, I just want to say this as well. And this is not something necessarily aimed at Arteta or Edu, but Arsenal and how terrible our transfer business has been in the past. All these players, we spent almost 100 million bringing them into the club, and we have let them go for free. Every season, Arsenal lets go of their most important players for absolutely nothing. Last season, or the season before, it was Ramsey. We lost Koscielny, went for free. Sanchez pretty much left for free. And now we've got Özil,
Mkhitaryan, I don't think we got much for him.
Mkhitaryan. I think his contract was cancelled as well. And man, it's just such a terrible situation that Edu had to take over from. So let's hope that we learn from those mistakes. And I think the first example of that is going to be how we deal with the Lacazette situation. I think he's got 1 more year in his contract. It shouldn't have even been allowed. By the end of the season, we'll have 1 more year. We shouldn't have even allowed it to get to that point. So let's just hope that the lessons have been learned and we do not see another one of those cases for a very long time. But yeah, so far it is doing a good job. So
So,
we'll see how.
yeah, no, definitely. I agree. We let these guys go. And it's been our story of our lives, that we
Yeah.
let players go for like nothing or next to nothing. One of the things I read was that we got a new director of football operations or something like that. Technical,
Yeah.
that I don't know, something like that. So he's actually brought in to manage these kind of situations that you're talking about, not allowing contracts to get, getting the best deals for players, and maybe like not the negotiation part, but more the after negotiation, like making sure that we actually get money off them and keep contracts going and running. So hopefully that works. And now after
Yeah.
today's game, does this change is top four still a hope, man? And where do you think, what do you think happens now? It was difficult we needed three, let's be fair, because it put
Yeah.
us in a good position.
Yeah. Look, it's top four is going to be very difficult. I think for me, there's two teams that are a shoe in for the top four, and that's Man City and Liverpool. They're going to be fighting out for the league. Everybody else, it's open game to try and get into that top four position. Tottenham haven't been that great. Um, their form is up and down. Chelsea are going through a bit of a patch. Maybe now that Tuchel has come in, it might start improving. But Everton are blowing hot and cold. Everybody that's around us really is not having. It's there for the taking, especially at least to get into the Europa League. It's there for the taking. Top four might be a bit of a stretch. Yeah, but I think top six at the very least, or trying to get to that Europa League spot. I think it's very, very possible to do that. This game was just I think we can just write it off as one of those unfortunate. It was a wonder call from Moutinho. It was, you know, a questionable
I think, as you
sort
said,
of,
it was an anomaly. That's a good way of
yeah,
phrasing it. It definitely was. You know,
yeah, yeah. I think we can just put it down to just one of those games
because
and
if
move
you look
on.
at the reverse fixture, Wolves deserved to win. They all kind of deserved to win. The late
Yeah,
goal
yeah,
was a goal. It was. And there were no issues there. We just were poor. We conceded at the end counter. But
yes,
here it's like, we got cheated, and it's
yeah,
frustrating because, Arteta's interviews, like, first he says there was no contact. I don't see any contact. And the guy's like, that guy's boot clipped his knee. He's like, where? Okay, maybe you're looking at other pictures. So Arteta was quick to say that. And then he said, like, they were asking, is this decision, like, did it change the game? He's like, what do you think? Like, my central defender's off. They want the 10 men down. And he's like, so, like, are these decisions bad for the game? He's like, look, he doesn't want to say VAR is bad, stuff like that. He's just saying that it's already hard to win a Premier League game. With bad decisions, it makes it even, like, harder. How do you predict? You can have the perfect game plan, which kind of was our first 45 minutes. We were going to dominate that game if Luis stayed on. So, I think
yeah,
him also recognizing that now you have to plan for in case you have a bad call from a ref. Kind of, I think Wenger was good at doing that. He always knew
yeah.
that we're going to get a few bad calls. But yeah, it's.
Yeah, I actually haven't seen Arteta's post-match interview. I need to check it out and see if anything's
I was waiting. I
on.
don't think he did. Normally after the game they come out and they interview each. I don't think he did
Yeah,
that. I think he just
yeah,
went straight to the
yeah.
team.
I'm sure he was frustrated. I'm sure he was frustrated and really angry at those two decisions, and rightfully so. Rightfully so. So yeah, I completely understand. And even as you were just letting me know now, I get where he's coming from. The contact was so minimal, it was next to nothing,
Even
so
the
it
one guy,
had to be.
you must watch it. I don't want to spoil it for you, but watch it. Like the one guy even tells him like the rule and stuff like that, and then he even looks at him. He's like, why are you trying to rub like salt in the wounds here? He's like, I know these rules. It's like,
Yeah,
first of all, I don't see contact, but like, yeah. So just a frustrating night, but I think a lot of positives. I think the best thing is that when you lose a game like this, to know that you didn't deserve to lose. It's a bit
yeah,
better than actually losing outright, where you're like, these guys are just too good.
yeah.
So it makes it a bit better. But Sandile, thanks as always for coming on. Sharing your thoughts. It was a good one. So on to
Yeah.
Villa. I don't know if you have any last thoughts before we head out.
Not just looking forward to the Villa game. And again, we didn't really lose this game. It doesn't feel like a loss, even though obviously it is. But I don't think there should be any reason for the guys to have their heads down or feel dejected or anything of that nature. And going to the Villa game, just keep the same energy that we've had, and we'll probably get a result. I honestly think coming up against Martinez, hopefully he doesn't have too much of a good game. He doesn't enjoy himself too much. But yeah, I'm sure he'll be happy to see some of the players as well. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that game.
Yeah, definitely. I think today's game, as you said, like, it's we were angry, frustrated. It was like a mixed emotion. Then at the end of it, you just laugh. You just have to laugh at it, because what else can you really do? Because we used to. You can be angry and stuff, but who are you gonna blame? There's no one in Arsenal you can really blame right now, and
Yeah,
you only blame Premier
and
League.
and,
Like
and
the one guy, I
I'll
think
tell you.
Cook said it. He was like, the most watched league in the world with the shittest referees. He's like, how is that possible? And I was like, that's like a quote right there. You know what I mean?
It's true. Yeah. Who was it? It was a Southampton player that said that. Yeah, but yes, that's true. One thing that actually want to mention as well, like Arsenal fans are like you guys. We are the most confusing people in the world. I tell you. I was seeing online somebody blaming Arteta for
Taking him
saying that
Lacazette.
no, but they're saying that he is the reason that we make poor decisions, or that there's ill discipline in our plays. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? There was neither of those red cards had anything to do with one Arteta, um, but some people are always ready to bash the manager and say, yeah, we want him out, he must go, and he never give him a chance. They stay quiet while we're winning, and then the one time that we lose, it's somehow Arteta. Two, both red cards, very, very questionable. And perhaps shouldn't have even been given. A yellow card would have sufficed for both of them. Penalty, definitely. Did Leno handle the ball outside the box? Definitely. Yellow card in both incidences. Arteta can do absolutely nothing about either of those. So, we are always ready. We say that we are Arsenal fans, man, but some of the guys are.
They're quick to hate, man. It's quick to hate. And it becomes frustrating because, you're trying to, even through the bad patch, like they were trying to like hate on him so much. And some of the games, you're like, but this team, I would have also chosen this team. Like you can't, how are you going to like tell like Obama, this is how you score? You like, look, you set them up and, William, like I get the repetitive play of William was a bit frustrating, but like some of like, look, at the end of the day, that guy, his job is to pass, his job, like David Luiz's job is to defend. And you can't teach that. You got to run them through whatever you want them to achieve. And I feel their decisions on the pitch are their decisions. And sometimes when Lacazette takes a shot outside the box, you can't blame Arteta for that. Maybe like, oh, he shouldn't have played it. But then you're like, who's he going to play? In case he, I think today, to be fair, I think today we needed a Martinelli, just in terms of the energy with 9 men. I felt Aubameyang, I like Aubameyang, can come on any time of the day, you know what I mean, to play for Arsenal.
Yeah.
But I think that he's not that guy that will run 5-10 minutes at every player at their legs all the time. And I think Martinelli was that guy. I'm not sure if he was on the bench, I can't remember, but that's what I just felt. I think his legs were needed in that. But and that being said, maybe he didn't want to commit too many legs because Aubameyang can get like a 30-minute workout in like 5 minutes with 9 men. You know what I mean? So maybe that's something like that.
Yeah, I think ultimately it was about the goal threats. I think Martinelli hasn't been playing for a while. He's just back from injury. He's only got a couple of minutes. And Aubameyang, he is more of a goal threat. He seems to be finding his form as well. So I think that's ultimately what it came down to. Had we been maybe still 10 men, perhaps Pepe would have come off and somebody like a Martinelli coming on, or maybe even Lacazette coming off and a Martinelli coming on. But just because we were down to 10 at the time, we just needed, one ball over the top, get somebody who's in form who's going to find that.
And it almost came, to be fair. It was almost there.
Yeah, it did. So then we were calling it a masterstroke, So that's the thing about football, man. Had he scored, then we're not even having a conversation about Martinelli,
Yeah.
So yeah, that's.
But it also we must notice that we were up, we were down by a penalty, we were down, and then we conceded that was a beautiful goal. Don't get me wrong, but after that, they had nothing. We were 10, we were 9. We had our Hong Kong keeper there, So it's like if you have to break it down and take away those aspects, the performance was there. They held because with 9 men down, they have to score again. Like, come on, 2 or 3. And I don't know if you saw the line. It was like a 4-4, and then even the comments is like it's a 4-4-0. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They had 8 people on the pitch. So I think I think Tony Adams said it well. He was like, we get behind the ball quite well, and it helped in this situation, and it's just sad to be put into this, but to not concede is a big positive, I feel.
Yeah, and that's why I say we just need to keep the same energy. I don't think this loss should be deflating to the players because we played really well, even after going down to 9 men, we still had some sort of defensive shape. We didn't just break down suddenly and everybody just losing their minds and just,
I like Holding was trying to be a wing back there at the end.
Yeah, he was overlapping, man, like, Holding was trying to put through balls in, and he's having a very, very good season right now. Close to him, and he's done very, very well for himself.
Yeah, no, but thanks so much, Sandile. It was great catching up. Maybe we'll catch you on the next match day. But
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe we'll catch you on the next match day. was a bit disappointing, but as you said, there's a lot of positives and we should have won. Next up is Villa. So yeah, it's me, Kish. It's Sandile. It was Wolves 2, Arsenal 1, but disappointing one. The Mumish of this week is the ref, and I think the next few weeks. So yeah, we're going to be talking
Yeah.
about him quite often. But yeah, we out.